Well, I'm joined in the studio by our international affairs editor, Armen Georgian. Armen, Taiwanese media outlets seem to think that Nancy Pelosi is coming to town. Now, if that's true, how big of a deal is that?
Well, there have been visits to Taiwan by members of parliament from Western countries for a long time. From the UK, the Baltic states, from France even. So, China has criticized those visits, but China's been much more critical of this expected visit because Nancy Pelosi is not just a member of the US Parliament, so to speak. She is the Speaker of the House of Representatives. She's a very senior figure, and this would be the first visit by a House of Representatives Speaker in 25 years. She has a voice on U.S. foreign policy as well as in domestic policy, of course. She's second in line to the presidency after the vice president if something happens. So for all those reasons, this is a different threshold, if you will, as far as the Chinese are concerned. And I suppose the danger is that now that there is this expectation that she will go, there becomes then a political cost if she didn't go, because it would look like China has a veto over what senior U.S. officials do. And equally, China having, in a sense, boxed itself into this corner by saying we were effectively drawing a line at her visiting. We heard that very robust soundbite from the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson. There's also probably some sort of political cost for Beijing if it doesn't respond in some way to her visiting.
Okay, and just looking at the broader picture, how high would you say tensions are right now between Taipei and Beijing?
Well, I mean, there are military exercises going on at the moment, but there isn't a crisis as such in the Taiwan Straits in the sense that there was in 1995 to 6, for example. There could be one, obviously, some sort of miscalculation, plane being fired at or shot down, who knows. There's certainly potential for an actual crisis in the Taiwan Strait, but at the moment what we're looking at is Chinese military exercises and Taiwan carrying out drills. Now, of course, since that 1995 crisis, China's military has become a lot more powerful, a lot more modern, a lot more technologically advanced. But Taiwan has also evolved in its drills and its responses, and it has also been studying very carefully Ukraine's response to in the last few months. So if Beijing, even if Beijing discounts the US, even if Beijing says, well, the US would not intervene directly in a war, just as the US is avoiding a direct war with Russia, still, it would not be a completely straightforward matter for China to simply march into Taiwan. We've seen that nationalistic rhetoric that says, we can take over Ukraine or Taiwan in a few days. That's actually not quite the case. Things are more complicated. And in the case of Russia and Ukraine, there are long land borders, which is not the case with Taiwan. There is water between the two. The Taiwanese have really been updating their doctrine on amphibious assault response and things like that. So it's hard to predict how an actual confrontation would go. But most analysts that I've been reading seem to be saying it's actually unlikely that Xi Jinping would go for a major escalation before the next Chinese Communist Party Congress. Perhaps a limited show of force, that would certainly make sense in order to sort of rally support for him and the party leadership. But a major escalation, that seems to be something that analysts are downplaying.
Okay, well, thank you very much indeed for that. Our international affairs editor, Armen Georgian. Thank you.